All right, welcome in, builders. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game that just came out in its 1.0 release. It's had a couple patches, and I'm feeling like I'm ready to hop on in here. This is going to be Sandwalkers. This is a roguelike game. It's got some RPG group combat, and we're going to do some exploring. And by my understanding is each of our caravans, which is like a run, is going to try to progress the world, and we will make changes that will help our future caravans be able to do things in the future. So we are going to cut back to the intro cinematic, and we'll take a quick watch through that, and then we will get started with a new game here.
The trees. From the sun, they gave shade. From the wind, they gave shelter. They filtered the water, kept the soil from washing away. They gave us life, but between two trees. Now the trees are so far from each other. I am Vavzez, teller of the 13th caravan of the Makar, the only one still living. As it was for the 12 before us, our mission was to plant a new tree, to serve as a city for climatic refugees. We joined the many who failed in their task. May our experience serve you well, for it is now you, the 14th caravan, who are tasked with continuing the work of the Makar. Escort your botanists to the ends of the world. Create a new haven, that the caravan that follows you may go even further, and continue our quest for knowledge that will one day allow the 15th, the 16th, the 100th, to repair the ancient folly that made this world hostile to life.
Go ahead and hit new caravan.
As one Makar proverb says, for newborns the sun has always existed. They do not know it only just appeared. For us, the expanse of chaotic weather known as the Fithy has always existed, yet it is only 3 centuries old. That is enough, however, to forget the pleasant weather of antiphytic legends, the shade of Umama, mother of all trees. To recover this mythical past, the Makar tribe sent caravans into the Fithy on a one-way trip east. It was their foolhardy hope that the lost Umama be found, as only Umama could restrain the Fithy.
Simply imagine wisdom gone with the wind, time erasing the scenery, all the knowledge lost and erased. I speak of us, our bodies, our mind, our world. Are we merely supported by giants of old? No, for we are the ones carrying them forward. Oh, how frail they are, as fragile as crystals, as delicate as a butterfly's wing, as ephemeral as a footprint in this sand dune. Listen to the story of Tuwala, botanist of the 7th caravan. Take on this knowledge, add to it, refine it, then pass it on once again, and let it make its way down the gentle slopes of existence. Okay, we can mouse over things for tooltips. Botanist of the 7th caravan, one of our ancestors. All right, I believe this is going to be our tutorial here. Soon after the start of their journey, a storm had taken the 7th caravan by surprise. Separated from her peers, Tuwala sought refuge, only ended up buried in the sand. When the storm passed, she re-emerged, having consumed what little resources she had. Supplies are at the heart of survival for caravans. Tuwala's supplies are depleted. She is in danger. Each move has an associated supply cost. When caravaneers run out of supplies, their health gets consumed instead, which may lead to tragedy. This is the current goal. The compass points to it in a straight line, but it may lack precision or be totally absent depending on the information at your disposal. I assume that means this right here. All right, looking around here, we have the 7th caravan. I have Walla, rampant botanist. Hope. Neutral events. We are starving because we have no supplies. Sun has no effect. Memory points. Gathering memories grants you memory points, with which you will be able to unlock new buffs in the crystal library before starting a new journey. Okay, so meta currency. Recommended level reached. How the 7th caravan botanist survived in the 5th. We have hope. We have a log, a region map, and our caravan. Okay, let's just follow the tutorial. I try not to fight. Ooh, boy, that is a zippy little movement. Okay, I can right click rather than WASD. That is rather sharp. Okay, sand's gonna cost me 2% of my HP to cross. Okay, we are taking damage for each hex we move, it looks like. We discovered new area. Some cacti are edible. This is basic Uwandan knowledge, crucial to the survival of the Macaw caravans. These did not taste like much, but caravaneers knew not to expect much, and Tulula even more so. Okay, so it's going to cost us 12% of my HP, and we're going to get 15 supplies. Hold right click to move the camera while keeping the caravan still. Use this to scout for objectives and plan your route. Your current goal is southeast. Okay, and I see our compass down here moved again. So we have 15 supplies out of 30. So if we move here, 24 out of 30, cool. Okay, so we're basically going to want to try to zip between cacti, essentially. Looks like we have a lookout tower. That's a lot of mountains. Okay, so 8 cost. Take us down to what? 14, and then we're going to get 15 back. After crawling alone for ages, Tuala finally reached the Sea of Sand where she had been separated from her caravan. Tellers, she recalled from her childhood, would talk of antithetic legends regarding the Sea of Sands, which had once supposedly been covered in water. The grains of sand would have been merely dust of seashells laying on the bottom. Chaotic weather that came after the mother tree disappeared. It took many forms and created many dangers. The movement cost of the caravan depends on the terrain type. It might sometimes be more efficient to go around. Okay, so it's showing me here, desert is -2 supplies, dunes are -10. Gotcha. An abrupt elevation change will also impact movement cost. Gotcha. Okay, let's refuel. So we're going to spend 6 supplies to get to the beetle, and we're going to gain 12 supplies and a Titanus shard. Okay, so we're going to overcap here, right? Yes. All right, so moving here doesn't really make sense because we're going to want to avoid these thick dunes. So here would make sense. That would fill me up again. Sure. Okay, and then wherever we got to go for this. The 7th caravan. Tulula wasn't surprised, but could not refrain from feeling some measure of disappointment. Hoping for the impossible was, after all, what fueled the caravans. We can search and we'll get 2 potions, I guess? Herbal cures. The desert was no place for prudishness. Tulula gathered what remained of the cargo. That is to say, not much. As Tulula prayed, she thought she heard some sand whine. One would sometimes hear the dunes cry, but this thought was quickly wiped away when something emerged from the sand. The protector had survived. We increase hope. The caravan is held together by the faith in its mission. This makes hope a crucial resource. We are now enthusiastic. Many different situations can give or take hope. In addition, various levels of hope can trigger buffs, debuffs, and special events. So now we are enthusiastic. We get 30% more shield, increase in very positive events, and all reputations +3. Okay, so our hope seems to affect like our RNG for events as well as maybe combat stats, I'm kind of guessing. YOLO. If I was a dude that was going to go on a one-way trip through a desert, I think I would go by YOLO too. All right, YOLO, you're in, my man. Okay, we could go here and it would cost me 10, but we would gain 12. But with the rapid change in height, I think that would cost us actually more. This will cost 14, but we'll get 12 of it back. I think we're just going to go there. Each Caravanneer has a spell they can cast during exploration. Once they've been used, you can only regain them by resting in a town. Use them wisely. Fertilizes fields and plants. Gives barrier to the start of combat. Needs macerate. I don't know if I have macerate. Fertilize arid fields and plants. Are you trying to show me I should do this? Sure. Oh, I see. It's targeted. Okay, that did what I thought it was going to do. So we got some of that back, and then we could go here. Dense cactus field. Okay, that doesn't give us anything, but that one does. Okay, and then we're heading up to the exclamation point. Prepare for battle and position your units. Okay, so what are you? I'm guessing this is like the front. Protector level 1, botanist level 1. Okay. I assume protector must be like a tank. Oh, that combat music though. Yeah, that's bopping. You just entered combat. This happens when you encounter hostile creatures or people. In combat phases, you are trying to defeat your opponents while minimizing damage sustained by your caravan members. Each character in battle has a speed stat that determines its position in the turn order. When all characters have played, a new turn begins. Oh, that music is bopping though. Characters have a life and shield value. Shield regenerates at the end of the fight, but health does not. A character dies if their health goes to 0. Okay, we're not knocked out, we are dead. Okay, so botanist. So botanist, then the red gigant, and then our protector. You have a weakness to blue thing and greenish gray thing. And you have resistances to those things. Okay. Pyracetha Vine does thorns and +9 to shield. I'm guessing a lot here. One line. Okay, so I'm guessing lines must be, because it looked like there are 4 positions, so it must be in the front maybe. Or lethargic venom. We're gonna do 18 blue thing. It looks like this resisted thing. And we poison them. Suffer 3 poison at the end of turn. Increases for each stack point. Ignores shields. And you have 6 shields. What's this? Bite. 18 damage. And you have 23 shield. Okay. I guess it's okay to take shield damage, so we'll spit on him. Unwavering, immune to stun. So we broke his shield and it stunned him, I'm guessing? Poison, suffer 3 points. Okay. And then we have YOLO, the protector. Charge. 12 damage of some sort. And behind the target takes 9. So like a line attack maybe? Inquisitive stare. Details easy target damage taken from next attack is increased by 50%. Okay, if we dealt 12 damage, he would have 5 left, and that won't kill him. But hopefully our botanist could finish him off. Okay, botanist goes again. We do the poison. Yeah, okay. Also, the rocks are elephants. Gain 10 somethings, and we're at 9 out of 100 weight. Among the desert predators, gigant scouts were ones a protector could defeat. This confrontation carried high stakes, however. If they managed to return to their colony, they would bring back a veritable flood of vicious insects a few days later. Sometimes one must strike preemptively. No caravan is ever truly equipped to confront Pithy when it sets out. Each caravaneer builds up experience, which is then shared and redistributed within the group. Oh my goodness. Oneiromancy is quite convenient for this. Pick on a caravaneer to give experience. Let's level the tank. Leveling up a caravaneer increases their attributes and potentially their attacks and exploration skills. They may even gain new ones. Spend your caravan experience on this caravaneer to level them up. Okay, that blue stuff was XP. We have 10 of it. And it's going to gain level, health, shield, and some other stats. Strength, agility, intelligence, will, shield, and health. Okay. You can choose a new skill for them. Okay, we could raise shield. The next incoming attack is diverted to the protecting ally. Okay. And we gain extra shield for doing it. Shield bash. Speed is reduced by 2. It's one target, does a little bit of damage. Or blinding reflection. 25% chance to miss the target on the next action. I think being able to self-buff our own shield and maybe protect a different person. Make our tanks tankier. And then we're out of XP. It's going to cost me 35 to level him again, but only 10 to level Tulula. Herbal Cure can be used on a character to restore 50% of their health. Chitinous Shard. Once recut, could be used to make tools, small weapons, or scales to reinforce the outfits of travelers and fighters. Gotcha. Alright. Small Herd. That's a nice looking area. This is a lot greener than where we just were. Lekwasi. The Macaw generally say the 7th caravan was swallowed whole and would forever sleep underneath the Uwanan sands. We travelers, however, always favor more open-ended interpretations. Had Tulula entrusted her secrets to our ancestors, or was this merely a fantasy of tellers in search of the improbable, transmitted and transfigured through generations? It falls on you now to bear the weight of this question and many more still. Why had the Pithy appeared? What happened to Umama, who once covered Uwando in her cool shade? How may we erase one while recovering the other? It falls to you to light the path for future generations. Good luck, Macaw. Hold on to hope, for nothing will ever stop caravans from moving forward, not even death.
In truth, caravanners could not reach Umama. No one could. These trips were simply meant to expand their knowledge of the world, the Pithy, and other tribes. Then, to use homing scarabs to send all these memories back to the Crystal Library. However, as time passed, hope was waning, like nature in the desert. This sacrifice was proving too much. The Macaw needed a sign such as this. We call it a fragment, an ancient artifact belonging to an ancient tribe, destroyed by the Pithy, who would carve their history in stone If the caravans could find more, we might learn what circumstances created the Fithy, and thus, how to beat it.
Apart from finding Umama herself, finding fragments are the greatest discoveries you can make. They will help you in understanding the origins of the Fithy and how to permanently defeat it. Okay. Butterfly Orison read. Do you recall that butterfly attracted by our fire's ardent flame? Oh well, said he, better to shine for a second than to live in the shadows. Could that butterfly even imagine? Could it even imagine that in burning it would carry away the entire forest? This fragment challenged our scholars. It was a lament in memory of a forest, without mentioning whether it was a mushroom forest, a cactus forest, or something entirely else. A controversial and improbable hypothesis, nonetheless, corroborated by the elements, suggests it may have been a forest of trees. It may have been that in antiphytic times, so like antediluvian would be before the flood, so before the Fythic times, Uwanda was covered in city trees. Okay, well, yeah, it makes sense. We're in a desert, so we don't know what a forest is. And we have other fragments. All right. I'm glad I got an achievement for finishing the tutorial. Thank you, game, for your positive reinforcement. You are in the city tree Lekwasi. This is where your journey begins. Locations such as cities are a perfect place to find quests. The most important quests can span several generations. Click here to obtain a quest. Uwando was once covered by the branches of Umama, the mother tree. The climate that would eventually become the Fithy was appeased by her presence. It only became a realm of chaos, haunted by violent winds and storms after what the legends described as Umama's death. We found ourselves in the sunset of Uwando, which meant Umama was towards the east. Okay, east to find the tree. Together, we were the Macaw caravan. The search for any trace of Umama was enough to justify our journey. It was hard to imagine a world without the Fithy's relentless assault, but still, that hope would feed our will to live. Helping others bolsters your reputation and can lead to great discoveries. You may leave Lekowski if you're done. Service port? Bird songs echoed against the mossy, leaf-covered walls, the shifting shadows of which had protected us from the Fithy since time immemorial. Only caravaneers and those insane would dare leave the bark of Lekwasi. We have... Am I going? Oh, I can. Here, you can manage the stuff you carry. Take into consideration the weight of items, their worth, and utility. You can also review the health of caravan members and equip them. We have a Gymbacrite root, a twisted tentacle that looks almost like a tuber. It had a very distinct flavor. Can be traded for more useful items. We have 2 herbal cures. Sonnet, 14 lines in strict rhyming scheme can be traded. And Macerate, a sticky mix with a horrid odor, wonderful for plants. Can be used during exploration to regenerate plants. We're at 16 out of 100 weight. Okay, we have Reggie. Does not look like I can change the name. So you are a Oneiromancer. Bigorn. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of words here I don't know. Death Pulse. I do know those words. 16 dark damage. Caster plus 25 shields. I assume that means if the target dies, we gain shield. Okay. And Shell gives us 32 shield and some physical resistance. Physical resistance is increased by 50. Okay, so you're like a tank that wants to kill things. Illusion Feast brings movement costs down to 0 for 5 turns. and tenacious. Inflicts 100% more damage when under 25% health. Okay, that'd be spooky if a tank character was that low, but that could help us get kills. Okay, those are other screens. We have Bank Ass. Bank Ass the Elephant Protector. I like it. We have Charge and Inquisitive Scout. Okay, we looked at those before. Shields Up. Grants Barrier 1 at the start of combat. Carefree. Improves hope. We have a carefree elephant named Bank Ass. All right. We have Thetho. Thetho the Rampant Storyteller. Mockery. Does weakened. Deals 30% less damage with the next attack. And Lethargic Venom. Okay, so is this like a racial trait? The Venom thing? Because our botanist had that too. Traveling Song. Reduce movement cost by 2 for the next 10 moves. Sly. Inflict 50% more damage from the back rank. Okay, we need to be in the back. Recovers minus 10% health when resting. Items sell for 20% more. Sounds good. And we have Sisisako. Sisisako. Rampant Botanist. Okay, we have the Thorn attack and that Venom attack. Okay. We can fertilize arid fields and plants. Prices increased by 10%. Okay, we have 2 people who are increasing our sell prices. And aggressive. Reduces the shield by 10 when the caravan is at least optimistic. Start the fight with thorns. Does that mean the enemy starts with less shield or we start with less shield? So we don't have any supports. Reputation. Terracers are indifferent. The Conic, the Nebulous, the Azor, the Palatine, and the Macaw. I think we are Macaw. Our sister tribe, the densest population in Uwando, was mostly made up of Lawns devoted to the hopelessness of land farming. A sedentary and pacific people, they answered to a queen backed by a fearless military elite. They trusted the Macaw, their trading partners since Antiphytic times. Conic, the people of eternal wandering, with hospitality as their most precious law. They would migrate from one well to the next without ever staying far from the star trail, leaving adventurers to others. They lived off trade and crafts, relying on these to supply food and herbs. The Wraiths and their fearsome warriors ruled over convoys with an iron fist, with one exception, the Sa, who oversaw a secret fort somewhere to the east. Nebulous. Antiphytic poems held a myriad of details from the epic wars between the Wandans and the Sky Invaders. The mysterious tribe from the cloud was responsible for bringing humans to Uwando. Humans are now considered like any other Uwandans in terms. Nebulous would only refer to a handful of destructive navigators and the last of the deadwood ships still carried by the wind, aboard which they hoped to escape the world's affairs. Governed by an epithious caste, the Azor tribe was too dreadful to be considered a mere band of pirates. The Azor's reign was built on abduction and enslavement, a grave menace to anyone who dare enter their Miri territory. Entrenched within their mud fortresses, they would only interact with other tribes through merchant ships and privateers. We had no choice, as the Azirs held dominion over Uwandan mines. Palatine. A living enigma, or perhaps already a dead one. Once masters of rivers and underwater cities, Palatines fathered a flourishing civilization entirely dependent on Uwandan's clean waters. Alas, the Gwampa crushed them. Since then, they have disappeared from the surface and found shelter underground, where even the sun stopped looking for them. Some say they devoted their lives to archaeology, like archivists obsessed with understanding the why of things. They roamed in tunnels, explore ruins and caves, hoping to understand the origins of the disaster. Once glorious, their cities became myth, buried under layers of dust and silence. And the Macaw. Our tribe, an advanced arboricultural society, so we grow trees, that was knowledgeable and cosmopolitan, but also fragile and riddled with conflicts. As a group of diplomats and scholars, we considered unity to be crucial, but our science also made us fierce combatants. Every decade, the Macaw would send a caravan of specially selected and trained travelers on a one-way trip to explore Uwando. We are that caravan. Okay, we know, okay, our snake people are in the back, which is what they wanted us to be, and we have 2 tanky people in the front. Sounds good. I guess we're ready to go.
Unlike tales of past caravans, there was no guard of honor, no ovation, no sacrifice or blessing beyond the usual words. The counselor came alone, by obligation. The 14th caravan, with just a teller, a botanist, a protector, and an aneromancer, left for the Fithi in total anonymity. We felt as though we were the last. Some would say that we were the first.
I mean, that bodes well, right? We inspired people, right? Uwando is vast and ever-changing. The region map displays reliable landmarks you found in your expeditions. Use them to plan your route. Goals and active quests displayed on the map if you know their location. Okay, so that's a pretty good-sized map. If Umama truly exists, she must be in the east, but caravans have much to do before they're strong enough and the route is secure enough to reach her. You may close the map. Lekwasi Musa Winkosi was the closest city tree to Lekwasi. Lekwasi advisors were increasingly concerned by how rare exchanges had become between both trees. After all, they were the last survivors of the Macaw tribe. The rare travelers able to reach Lekwasi reported rumors of evil sects trying to abduct people. We should investigate. That is some distance away. Okay. Also, it's raining and green. So this seems like this is rather nice here. Okay, herds, cactus. Okay, so let's just put on our metagame hats here. So in a roguelike with meta currency, in the early game, I think my biggest goal here is to try to gain some meta currency so that we will have more points to spend in our next run. Just gonna click on things to see if anything opens up. We are optimistic, 15% shield, increases in positive events, all reputations +1. We want fragments. Okay, we will gain reputation, experience, and hope. Reach Musa Winkosi. Reward other macaws. Musa Winky's fleeting colors, the fragrance of its spices, the pilgrim's furbishness facing its holy relics. And we have finished the tutorial. Okay. We're not full on supplies. It would cost me 8 to get here, but it would give me 10. Does that actually help me? Why is that red? Okay, let's explore our area. So another thing I don't know, I'm guessing because they're talking about landmarks, maybe the area between the landmarks changes between runs? Or maybe the whole map does and we just get the new landmark locations? I'm playing in this blind. Okay, there's a dude. A pirate group. A large well. Another pirate group. Mysterious sprout. Okay, let's get in a fight. Even caravaneers can't survive long when exploring the hostile expanses of Uwanda, but never forget that their sacrifice will allow future caravans to progress, and maybe even each reach Umama someday. Okay, let's see about getting some XP. Prepare for battle and position your units. Okay, I think my positions are fine. The sun has no effect, and we have some hope, so we get extra shields. Okay. Scuddlers, Rook, Elemencer. Okay, you just took most of my shield and poisoned me. I hate it. So, okay, we're here. Us, and then that dude. And then the bottom dude, and then the guy in the back, and then our protectors. Team Spirit, defensive stance, reduce incoming damage by 40%. Okay, so he's gonna protect the caster. You already went. You're gonna impale my top two, which means he would take damage. Okay, and this looks like I can only hit the front row. You have 64 shield, holy moly. Maybe we can take out the guy who's attacking this turn. Okay, we could do a vine, which gives shield and thorns. You're gonna hit my front guy. Okay, let's do the shield and thorns for my front. He should be at max. Let's see if we can go above max. It looks like we can. Yes. You protect him, which we knew was going to happen. You hit my poor snail. And you hit both of them. Okay, you are already almost toast. That's not great. Physical resistance increased by 50. I think we're gonna have to buff ourselves here. Give us some shield. We are now tenacious, so we will deal more damage. Okay, you're gonna do some damage. Damage taken from the next attack is increased. Let's hit these two. Okay, another bad hit. 17 damage. Let's actually get him weakened. That's a lot of incoming damage. Holy moly. Okay, again, we've used up our thorns. Let's buff our shield. I feel like maybe I'm being too defensive here. Okay. He is, or was stunned. Okay, we have 41 shield. I hope that's going to be enough. Okay, you want to protect him. You're going to hit him. You hit both. Okay, let's try here. I have not done much damage. Holy moly. Okay, let's focus fire a little bit. Okay, do some damage. Okay, we break the shield and they do get stunned. Okay, that's good to know. We'll keep buffing some shield down here and give them the thorns. Okay, he's buffing their shield too. I see. 32 damage would kill him, and then that would give us 25 shield. Right, so we're at 38. Yes. Okay, so we get something low and then try to have our snail guy kill them. And do. Okay, you're gonna hit in the back for 17 damage. And do a burn. And you're gonna hurt like everybody. Well, that's not really cool. Let's actually lower that damage, and maybe we can get rid of this guy or stun him. No, because he went next. I'm very glad I lowered that damage. My back row is running out of shield rapidly. We stun him by breaking the shield. And then you're out of shield. I guess we hit the front again. I feel like this is kind of like Darkest Dungeon, where the healing does not keep up with the incoming damage. This was a harmless group. Holy moly. Okay. We can finish him off. Okay, at least, okay, we've halved the number of people we're fighting at least. He is almost going to finish off my elephant. I don't love that. Let's half that damage. Let's wound this guy. Oh, I can only hit the front. He is weak to it though. Or we could deal some even less damage. Yes. And by that I mean we're gonna kill him. And he shatters? Okay, interesting. You're gonna hit my snail who has tons of shield, so let's do some damage. So far the snail guy seems really cool, although I wish I had an actual heal. Can we finish him? We can. His attack seems very effective against these guys. Smoke grenade, a small bomb capable of creating thick smoke screen when exploring, mostly made up of sugar and salt derivatives. Unlocks combat consumables in the crystal library to equip them. And some nopal berry, a fruit that only grew in specific condition. We gain 5 supplies. Okay. All right. Well, we got our butts handed to us. We do have some XP. Everyone's level 1 currently. Do we heal if we level? Let's find out with Snail Guy. Memory overload deals 26 whatever damage. Target doesn't have a shield. Random enemy 32 damage. Okay, so it hits one person who doesn't have a shield for 32 damage. Mental Purge, 36 damage, and gives mental weakness. Mental resistance reduced by 50. That seems better than that. Or Soul Corruption, 48 damage. Okay, that seems really good. 48. This would do more if I could spam it, though, because I could give them the mental weakness and then hit them again. Or we could just have one big hit. Let's go for the debuff. We'll see if I regret that. Okay, so the purple seems to be mental damage. So Shell is himself. So we'd hit him with the pulse. And then we would hit him with Death Pulse next. Okay, that's an alright combo. Accessory. I can't equip anything yet. Okay, that did not seem to heal us, although we have some more health. So maybe it was like it kept our health percentage. Let's go ahead and use an herbal cure. Wow, we have a bunch of people who are almost dead. On you, and I guess you? Well, that does not bode well that I've used all my healing on one encounter. What's that? Desert Train, and we don't know what it's going to do. 14 food. Okay, what's this? Memories. Caravan's unique memories. Caravan memories. Mirror Hamada. The Hamada, a stone platform emerging from the sand, has been revealed by the Fythic winds, unveiling it, but a large part of Nebulous Highland. Materialism, discovered by the 14th Caravan. Ruthless reality had placed a ticking clock within our stomachs, regardless of the Fythi, regardless of the suffering and disastrous, even if ever ignored. Material goods were thus the primary concern of our effort to survive. Jolt of reptilian brain. All of a sudden, a different part of the unconsciousness had taken over. Fear was no more, and one sole imperious drive dominated, the need to do harm. Okay, so I'm guessing we get experience for these. That's probably what this is. You know, more you want me to click on? Encyclopedia. Okay, we have some classes. Oh boy, if those are all classes, we have quite a few of them. And we've learned about some pirates. Gotcha. All right, let's pop. I guess let's pop. Reduce traveling costs by 2 for 10 moves. Okay, that's way cheaper. During one dark night, a light caught our attention. We approached cautiously and discovered it was a fire on top of a dilapidated tower, mimicking a sort of nebulous lighthouse to guide vessels looking to land. Nothing more than a trap set by shipwreckers, pirates looking to bait their next catch. We could attack them, which we would gain some reputation. we could... we don't have whatever that is. Needs an assassin. Okay, we don't. Needs a pyromancer, or we could leave quietly. I mean, I gotta know how bad this is. Let's try attacking the pirates. We put out the fire and flushed them out of their hideout so we could slay them. How bad of a plan was that? Okay, there's only 3 of them this time, so not too bad. Start fight. Okay, unfortunately they went first. They've already broken my shield. Okay, you're gonna protect him, and you're gonna attack my elephant. Alright, I think we're gonna work on getting this guy where we can hit him. You are gonna do thorns to the front. Okay, you protected the bottom. You attack my elephant. I hate you. Alright, you now. Mental pulse. Okay, we're gonna hit this guy with the debuff. Also gonna stun him, that's kind of nice. You're gonna protect him, you're gonna protect him. Okay, so you're just all protecting each other. Let's just hit the front row, or top row, I guess. Okay, poison again. I think he's gonna be able to finish him off as is, so I'm not gonna hit him with anybody else. Okay, thorns. Okay, let's do the back row because he's going to try to hit the back. They're just protecting each other. I don't love that he's protected now. Alright, we're not able... Okay, I see. We're not able to target with that. We could target here, but it's not going to kill him. Recruits incoming damage. Alright, I see. I think it's probably still worth hitting him, though, because he's got the debuff. 16 damage. Yeah, they're still all trying to hit us. Oh, that's actually the mental damage too. Okay, we still have some shield, and then he dies. All right, that's fine. They protect each other. All right, keep working on him. Suffers 12 points at the end of their next turn. I guess we're just gonna, if they're just gonna shield up, we're just gonna keep putting poison on. Okay, so he is dead to poison. All right, then we're gonna hit him with the mental debuff. And then you can do Inquisitive Stare. A little extra damage, and then damage from the next attack is increased. It's too bad we don't have him going next. We could do a big damage there. Oh, I guess Mockery. We can make use of the lower defense. So that'd be minus 26. Minus 29, yeah. Okay, that was pretty nice, actually. And then he's stunned because of that. Alright, you're dead from the poison, so let's just get poison on you. And you're not gonna die. Nice, he lost that because the guy shielding him died. And then we just finish him off. Okay, a little bit of synergy here. Lots of mental damage. You're kind of the weird one out. We gain 24 experience, a grenade, a lockpick. Cool. Okay, then let's do some leveling. Let's do our botanist to see if we can maybe get bigger shield things, or maybe they could get a heal or something. Okay, that's a different type of damage. Scleroderm spores, 14 whatever damage that is, and they gained weakened. That is hits both people in the front. Corrosive mucilage, 21 damage, shield disintegration. Lose 20 shields at the end of turn. That would be nice. Or Deadwood Bark. Caster gains some shield, and I put protected. The next attack will be, okay, we could take the attack for somebody else. Right now, that's not very helpful for me. We have 2 tanky units, so I don't think we want that. I think I want the shield disintegration. Things have big shield numbers. Okay, and then let's do our other protector since he's up front, ideally getting hit. Barrier removes a stack to dodge the next debuff received. We could blind people, or we could raise shield. The next incoming attack is diverted. Okay, now on this guy, I'm more interested in having that. And then we would be able to self-heal some shield. Let's grab that. Okay, so both my front people have abilities that allow them to heal their shield. Okay, and then we don't have enough experience for anything more. Enemy ambush is fearsome. We are optimistic. Okay, and then we're gonna go here and gain plus 20, which will overmax us. Okay, let's move this way a little first. Okay, dead end. That's what I wanted to know. And then let's go get the supplies. Okay, not too bad. We didn't overmax it. Geode. We need a pickaxe. I have no pickaxe. Okay, I don't think we're going to get anything else here. That's claiming this is the easiest way to go. And none of that is actually giving me food. The story told around the campfire, epic tales of caravans past, legends of the antithetical world, songs of the deadly bounty of the forest. It all rang hollow. We only wish to go home. Oh, we literally have barely made it like outside of our own yard, and we're already like, man, I want to go home. Okay, cost me 4, but get 12. And then 2, 4, 6, and then we literally get back to where we are. We wouldn't actually end up getting more. We'd break even. All right, let's cross this bridge. I know I'm kind of going the wrong direction, but I'm just trying to get a feel for things. It would cost me 6, but we would gain 10. It would cost me 6 and some health, and we would gain 12 if we use up one of our consumables. I think we're gonna have to do that. Okay, so food is already a problem. That's not great. Okay, we used up one of 2 of those. What do you want? Memories. Self-defense. Anyone looking to outplay assassins must become one themselves. This memory was one of shattered taboo and fleeting innocence. Kill 5 enemies. All right. At some point, I'll probably read through these to make sure that we're striving for them, but at this moment, it doesn't really matter. Buried column, time-worn shards, cost us 10 food. Predators group, harmless. Yeah, is it harmless, though? Why do I question that? Shards of which one could still distinguish traces of engravings or paint, ideal for fans of puzzles. All right. Think brings movement cost down to 0 for 5. I think we're gonna bop that because we're not gonna get any food from this. A story told around the campfire, epic tales of caravans past. Okay. Reward. Our elephant got melancholic, reduces hope, inflicts mental weakness to a random enemy. That sounds bad. Yeah, see, we're down to serene. Rain, what are you doing? Water damage increased by 20%. Those sure look like water elementals. Fire damage reduced by 20. Okay, well, we don't have any fire damage. a Marid. What are you gonna do? You're gonna hit her and break her shield almost, and you're gonna hit him and not break his shield. Okay, let's debuff the damage you're gonna do. Corrosive. Okay, we could do a bunch of shield damage. 25. I think it would be better to just break his shield, and that stuns him, so he doesn't get to do the attack. And you can eat that just fine. Loses 10 shield at the start. Okay, so he's got a debuff. He's going to lose a lot of shield. But we could Death Pulse him. We could gain some shield. And now we have Raise Shield. What are you going to do? You're going to hit both of them. No real damage and just hit their shield. Let's go ahead and lower that damage. And 14 versus 17. Yeah, let's just lower it even more. Oh, never mind. We're going to shield break him. Cool. Okay. And then... yeah, just kill him. Okay. Maybe that first fight we did was just exceptionally hard. Hyacinth Crystal. A red crystal contained mostly onerous memories. Unlock combat consumables. Okay, we don't have that yet, apparently. Noble berries. That's right. We also have some nobles we could use for supplies. I want to wait and use those at the last second if I can. Okay, we'll end up with the extra from here. We got some damaged fur and some food. Fountain of Blood. Legend spoke of many strange events that could barely convince any skeptic. As such, we did not think that anyone would believe us when we related what we saw that day. A fountain from which blood flowed instead of water. We could drink, and that starts combat. We could levitate the blood into gourds. Give 25% of maximum caravan capacity. Because we have a hydromancer, we don't. Place bait. Starts combat with an exalted status. We don't have any bait, or we could flee. I mean, we have to find out what's in here, right? One way or the other, we just need to learn the encounter. So drink from the fountain. Blood. You look horrible. And it's raining again. Luckily, we don't have a pyromancer, I guess. A blood leech. And a bloodworm. The bloodworm is weak to the mental damage, so that is something. And I have nothing... yeah, we don't have the unlock that would allow us to use those things. Alright, start fight. Two of us go first. You're targeting her, and her, and her. Okay, we gotta do something to protect her. So we are on you. 17. We're not going to be able to break. 17 damage. Moves forward. I don't like that. And they're going to buff the damage we take. All right, let's debuff him. You are going to get absolutely pummeled, so we're going to throw some extra shields on. Alright, 17 damage. We're going to take more, but then he does less. Wow. And pulled her to the front and kills her. Wow. Okay. Ow. 4 left. Let's go for the stun. Okay, that's kind of nice. Go for the stun. And then let's just finish off that one. Kind of a waste to do it while they're stunned, but I also just want to lower the numbers. It's interesting they were able to pick out my character that had the least amount of life. Raise shield. He didn't go before her, so I couldn't have stopped that. Yeah, we'll debuff the damage. We'll debuff the damage. Oh, and stun him. Nice. 29. Okay, we're not going to be able to finish him off, so we'll put up the big debuff. And then give him the old elephant eye. Okay. And this should be dead, right? We gain some meat. A bunch of XP. Yep, dead is dead is. Alright. Our rampant storyteller gets to level up. Exalted. Deal 25% more with the next attack. Bring shield down to 0. Parlay. 1 target. So we can just literally turn off their shield. Interesting. Oh, and here was the actual heal that we needed. Okay, we'll take the heal. That's unfortunate that we didn't get that before. All right, we have 25 left, and it's 30 to get to the, or 35 to get to the next level. That's not happening. Cactus down that way. Some more ruins. I feel like this caravan's already doomed since we lost a character. So we'll just try to explore as much as we can, and then we'll see in our next life what that actually means. All right, do we have anything we could use pre-battle that would help us? Not really. All right, there's probably a memory for using items. So before, I'm going to take this fight and probably die. Okay, that did not, unfortunately. All right, let's see what this does. Okay, only 2 of them. You have an AoE, we know that. I hate that you got to go first. Okay, now we can actually get a heal on our poor elephant. We're not gonna, I assume we're not gonna be able to kill either of you, so then we'll do the debuff. We definitely want to get rid of the guy who can AoE if we get our choice. That's not gonna kill him, not gonna kill him. Hit him anyways. I'm gonna continue healing the elephant. I wonder if it's randomized what we can level up, or if I had leveled this one earlier, if I would have had that heal. Alright, we'll kill him for the extra shield. And then up here... What are you gonna do? You're gonna hit him. We gain protected... Can you do it to yourself? No. Alright, in that case, let's go ahead and make him deal 50% less damage. That'd be 80% less damage. No, I think we still come out ahead with the heal. So we go up 22 and then down 16. So yes, because that hit the shield. Alright, we'll put the debuff on. Okay, I like to see that we have multi-class synergies. That's always a good sign. And then give him the old elephant eye. With the debuff, that's enough damage to kill. Okay, that went rather well. Exile, +1 geomancy. Or solo animal. All right, let's do that geomancy first. The Shaitan Desert. Okay, geomancy just means map, I guess. 14 food. That would lose us a bunch of HP. Guess we'll take this one. 20 food. A medium herd, and we can afford to get there. Yes. Abandoned crates for 12 food. This area is absolutely brutal. 10 food to get there. That'll initiate a fight. Okay, let's use this meat. All right, we also have shields up. Let's just use that since, again, this may be the end of us. Don't be 4 of them, please. Oh, no. It's the same type of group we fought at the beginning that was just devastating. All right, well, this is probably the end of caravan. What were we, 14? We'll see. We'll see. We are higher level at least. All right, healing at the beginning here is definitely a no-go. We need to ideally kill him if we got our choice. Hitting him, hitting him. Those are good places to get hit, actually. Let's start working on him. Man, those guys are tough. 24, jeez. Okay, get the debuff on him, I think. And then we can give him the old stink eye. Okay, that stuns him for the turn. Now, he also has AoEs, so we're definitely not out of the woods here. Keep working on that guy. Don't love that we just got protected twice. Is that gonna mean... Yeah, it totally means that. I can't hit him. But hit him with this. Almost kill him. And then... hit him with that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you are now the next target. Although you are so low, it's probably worth hitting you with like some poison. Then again, we are getting really low. Think... No, do the poison. 16 damage. The poison can't be shielded by them, so... Yeah, he's dead next time he has a turn. Alright, you get the debuff. You give him the old stink eye. Feels bad, man. Alright, I will get a heal here because we're going to take fire damage. Oh, I'm not allowed to heal myself. Feels doubly bad. And we die. Okay, good to know. So we need, like, 2 people who can heal each other. Or abilities that can heal themselves. One of the 2. Alright, he is getting protected by him. You can still hit that, though. And I think we go to just finish him off. Which we can't quite do. Am I able to? No, of course not. Alright, just finish him. Alright, give him the stink eye. He has no one left to protect, so he's just going to be on the offense now. Boy, look at that. He had over 100 shields built up. I don't love that. What can we do here? We can raise shield on him to give us some shield. A little weird and convoluted, but it gets there. Same thing. I don't seem to have any mana or anything, so it's not like I'm going to run out of stats. Again. Okay, now we just stun for a turn. 16 damage. 11. Alright, you do more. Or do you? Because that was only 8. Right, either way. You win! Cool. Alright, we are doubly in danger now. We'll eat the meat. Alright, go there for 6. Get some food here. Pirate group harmless and a campsite. I doubt we can do another combat, right? Like there's no way. Yeah, there's no way. We got a captain, elementor. All right. I'm really curious to know what kind of meta progression on the map that we're going to get. We also have 75 memory points, so hopefully we can do a couple unlocks. I tend to find in these type of games, it's always better just to focus on a couple quick early unlocks rather than try to like force it out super fast in the early game. You have 50% weakness and you have resistance, so you seem like the better target. And then you can give him the stink eye. Okay, that's this stacked with his original weakness, so he's 100% weak. That's handy. He takes double damage essentially. Oh, we are buffing people with deals extra damage. All right, well, we are toast. I miss YOLO. He's down. Defeat. So our caravan's tale. So ends our caravan's tale. We collected 80 memories. Self-defense, the scent of paper, a finger for a bookmark. Geomancy, sacrifice. Okay, so if we said new caravan, what are you gonna do? This is the Crystal Library. Here you may trade memory points you set back for knowledge to improve your caravans. Some knowledge requires you to obtain a given number of fragments to unlock. Righto. Okay, new quests available. We can't do any of those. We could do health gain, smoking, drying, and salting. We have more max supplies. That would be really nice. It sucks to overcap. Supply gain also would be really important. Damage dealt, shield gain, max weight, experience gain. 30 points, 10, okay. Different costs. All right, let's go. Experience gain seems really good. Getting him at least to level 2 was a big power spike. So let's do an experience gain. Dreams were natural works of fiction, full of teachings. Nothing was more revealing, however, than nightmares. They showed a side of the world where metamorphic crimes had become customary. Caravaneers start at level 1. Okay, so if we do that. Okay. I don't know if that means we're gonna go up a level at start or we're just gonna start with some XP. Alright, we have 50 left. Next, I kind of think that I want to have more supplies more than anything. So, 10 max supplies. All supply increase gains by 10%. Yeah. Okay, we have 30 left. We could do another click there. Health gain, shield gain, damage dealt. I feel like damage dealt is probably better, seeing how that early combat went. We have 20 left. Okay, we'll just do one here. Extra shield gain and some extra health gain. They still don't say, is this like things that are maxed out? I don't know what that means. All right, we did spend our meta progression. Choose a caravaneer. Common, common, common. Okay, so we're gonna have like a draft. Interesting. So we have a teller, which we know does end up with a heal. We have an assassin, and we have a hunter. You guys do say that you're level 2. Fire arrow, which does damage and bleeding. Suffers 6 pure damage at the end of a turn. Or serrated chitin. Target has shield. Does less damage, essentially. Reveals 2 closest supply type. Price is increased. Deals 33% additional damage when hope is low. Okay, so when our hope's low, we do extra damage. Deals 1 groups of enemies. Charge. Dagger play. Okay, we can do some bleeding, and if their health is low... No, if their health is high, we do less damage. Okay. I feel like a healer's more valuable than a damage dealer, just knowing that we have somebody who can do it. Okay, we are level 2 already, and I think I will haste, increase speed and ooh, that's rather nice too. But I think I'll take the heal. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna go through here and we're going to recruit things. I wonder if you can have different race class combos, because so far it seems that they're always the same thing. Okay, so Hunter we kind of looked at. You have the same stuff. You still have tracking. Then to Phobic. Caravan loses hope if the Caravaners fall beneath 75% health. Start combat with haste. Recovers an additional 10% health when resting. A Wayman. Okay. A man named Wayman. Veteran. Inflicts 10% more damage and has a bajillion HP. Martialist gives a bit of hope and applies a barrier. Ooh. Hope's nice. Potter's Slice. We can attack Rose. I like that. And Voracious Ambition. Exalted. Deal 25% more in the next one. Okay. I like that a lot. Let's try that one. Eagle Swoop. We can hit whatever we want and it does some bleeding. We have a Guard. Reduces incoming damage and protected. Okay, so it looks like that's a self-guard. So it's like a damage dealer in the front row. Or Shield Breaker. Do damage, and if they have a shield, we do the same damage? Or maybe we do double damage? Let's take the Guard. So that's maybe a front row character. Okay, a Tamer. The Tamer calls a trained animal for help, or Tenacious, deals extra damage when low on health. Bull Charge. Okay, you're a tank, I know that. I think we're just going to take the tank. Memory Overload was super good, but that's because we had multiple types of people who could do that type of damage. Or no. Mental Purge was that. This one, if they don't have a shield, we do more damage. Or just, we can attack anybody for 29. Let's do they don't have a shield, so we can see what those type of attacks do. And our last pick. So we have two people who can be up front. I feel like the Botanist was a pretty good pick. That gives us somebody who can give shields and somebody who can heal. Let's try that. We'll do the Botanist. Deadwood Bark. Protected. Caster gains some shield. Corrosive Mucilage. Shield Generation. Or Insidious Shield. Infested. Suffer 15% more damage. Deals damage to all allies if the unit dies with this effect. Okay. So we can do some splash damage if we attack the seeded one. I like that idea. The shield disintegration is also pretty good. I think if we had a hunter, I would pick this. We'll take the seed. That gives us like maybe some AoE, which we don't have too much of. Okay, so we have a group set up for the second caravan, but that's going to be it for just my little intro video here. We're already a little over what I was looking for time. So this is Sandwalkers. Interesting little title. I think I'll probably do a couple more episodes if there's any interest here, just to see what the meta progression's like, and I'm really curious about the map and see what that does. If it is a random map or if it's a static map, I hope it's random. That's just my hope. And yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I'm really liking, it's got an interesting art style, and I'm really liking the music, especially that one combat tune was just a bop. I really enjoyed that one. All right, builders, let me know what you think on this. If you'd like to see some more, let me know. I probably will make a couple episodes at least, but we'll see. It does look like it's got a pretty definitive end. So if we did decide to make this into a series, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So probably, if I'm guessing, we would need 7 successful caravans. That's pure guess, but I do like games that have a definitive like goal in mind, so I know how long they're going to take. Let me know. Let me know. All right, this has been Sandwalker. I've been Babel. You've been awesome. I'll catch you in the next one. Babel out.